Hey there, my name is Merijn, and in the last few years I've helped thousands of people achieve the body of their dreams in an enjoyable and sustainable way. So do you want to be next? Because right now I'm hosting a New Year Transformation Challenge in which you'll be able to win prizes up to 1,000 euros in cash and even way more prizes than that. So do you want a way to not only get in the best shape of your life in an enjoyable way, but also challenge yourself and be able to win prizes and make 2020 the best year of your life? Then let's do this together. What's going on? What's going on, guys? Merijn here, and welcome to another video. I'm having a hard time getting my ass back on YouTube, so I literally dropped myself on this couch, put the camera there, and I'm gonna shoot a video today. We're gonna get it rolling again. Because you guys may not have noticed because I still uploaded videos, but we shot them before, so I've been off filming for, it's 2 weeks after my show right now. So it's been 2 weeks, haven't filmed anything, and guys, I've been enjoying myself. I've been, like living the freaking good life since after my show. And first after my show, I was on a natural high. I couldn't even sleep. I just had so many, like, it's probably the best feeling I had in my life. It honestly felt like I was like a prisoner, and I came out of jail, and all of a sudden I could like live my life again. It's literally how it felt. So it's the ultimate like sacrifice to win, and like really like going through so much pain in order to get that super high feeling. That is what the whole show preparation was. It was crazy. And then so 2 days later I started like partying, which I really haven't filmed any of it. There's gonna be a party vlog, which is gonna be the next video. That's gonna be dope, but I haven't filmed any of the partying. It's just been me living my offline life and like really picking it up, and like because I didn't have a social life at the end the last like 3 weeks of my show, right? That pretty much the whole prep, not much, but like totally not any freaking social contact for the last like 2 to 3 weeks. So now I was able to do everything freaking I wanted, like eat out every single day, socialize, meet new people, hang out with my friends, hang out with family. It's been so good, man. And I finally felt mentally right. I felt mentally in a position where I could just have a good time, and I've been having a good time, man. But it's also time to get back to reality now, and I'm having a very hard time picking up the camera again and getting my ass back on YouTube. And that is because the offline life has been really good. I love the offline life. And I've been on YouTube like, for the past like almost 6 years. I've never skipped uploading for over 2 weeks. So to me, it feels like I've been away for very long. But it also feels like the offline life is a fucking amazing life. And I almost kind of like forgot that in a way, which is crazy. At the end of my prep, I was uploading every other day. I was like taking Instagram photos, like posting on multiple of my Instagram pages every single day, and being so busy with social media, right? And I have all this stuff next to it that I have to do as well. Online coaching, helping you guys get in shape, run my businesses, have meetings, etc. So those things I've still been doing now this week. But next to that, I've just been completely off social media. I haven't taken like a single photo. Like, I've just been offline, partying, socializing, enjoying myself. It's been good. But now it's also time to get back to reality, because I do love this shit, but it's just very hard once you're off it to get back on it. So today we're gonna get it started. I just put my ass on the couch here, and I'm gonna answer questions about, like the prep and about the show. So you guys have asked those on Instagram, and I'm gonna answer these. I think this is a good way for me to get back on it and to really like discuss the show more as well, because I know you guys are very interested in it. So with no further ado, let's get the intro rolling. What are the lowest calories you were at in this competition cup? So the lowest calories I was at was 1900. And then, well, during the depletion week, I was a little bit lower, even like 1600, I think. But you could say 1900 are the lowest calories I went, because the 1600 was only for, like 2 to 3 days. So it doesn't really count. You had shredded glutes, question mark. If yes, why no classic? Guys, for classic bodybuilding, first of all, you have to be a bit bigger than I am. I'm relatively small, obviously. And to do classic bodybuilding, I would need a lot more size in general. If I had shredded glutes, that like I honestly don't know. Like I haven't taken a photo of my glutes, and I feel like I'm not sure if that would fit me anyway. You know, those kind of poses and showing off my glutes in general to the general public. I'm not sure about that. No hate on classic though. I think it's fucking awesome. I honestly have never given it thought to do something like that myself. Did you actually feel healthy when preparing for the show? Absolutely not, and I think you could tell by my state that, you know, I knew it, I knew what it took, and I knew it was not a healthy process. I don't recommend it to you guys. I would say it on my videos. Sport is awesome, fitness is great, but you know, when you want to get to like the highest level you possibly can, it's definitely not healthy. Did you ever come close to a binge? Oh man, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I was telling Willem this yesterday, and he said you have to share this online, and it's actually great. So I think this was 2 weeks before the show. I was laying in bed. I went to bed at like 9 in the evening because I didn't have any macros left. That's what my life was looking like. You know, once, you know, I didn't have any food left, I tried to save the food for as long as possible. I ate my meal, and then afterwards I just directly went to bed because I knew I didn't have any food left for that day. So I was in bed early at 9. I couldn't sleep because of the hunger, right? And I ate a bunch of fucking lettuce, you know, like tomatoes and salad and like veggies, and like nothing would fill me up anymore, right? Drinking a lot of water, it didn't help anymore. I was laying in bed, I was super hungry, and you know, all of a sudden I was like, Merijn, you're so on track, you're already super lean, you're losing weight so quick, you know, maybe it's a good idea to have a little like refeed, you know. And I knew in my head that I shouldn't, because I have like planned refeed day. Maybe this was a refeed day, I'm not sure, but I was like, you know, maybe you should just have some extra food now, maybe that will like speed up like fat loss, right? So I was telling myself all these fucking things, right? This is when your mind starts playing tricks on you. And like I even started like Googling shit about like refeed days during prep and shit, even though I know all this stuff. I'm a personal trainer, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been cutting so many times. I know all about refeed days and cheat days. And I just try to like, you know, like afterwards right now I realized that, you know, I was like really crazy. Like the next day I actually realized it as well when I woke up. So I started doing all this stuff. And then I went on thuisbezorgd.nl. It's the website here in the Netherlands where you order food. So I went there. I went to, you know, like Domino's, ordered my pizza, you know, which is like the perfect pepperoni. And so I put this into my basket. And I'm like, you know, this process, I'm telling you guys, like I put my phone away and picked it up again. This whole process was like an hour, right? And like after an hour, again, I try to sleep again and pick up my phone again. Like, you know, I'm crazy. I'm like almost like sort of like it feels like you're a drug addict in a way, but you're an addict to food, right? And you just need your fix. So I go on this app again, and I go to my basket. I like my address already in there. I go to my, you know, my bank app, my ING app. The Dutchies will laugh now. I go to my bank app, and like there's 4 digits, right? I put in the first 2 digits, and I'm just like in my head, I'm just like, am I gonna do this or not? You know, I'm just like asking myself all the time. And again, I put my phone away again. It's probably 30 minutes later. This whole process is taking 1.5 hours until I pick it up again and I put in my 3rd freaking digit. And now I'm literally there, sitting there, like there's 1 more digit to go. And I'm just debating in my head, am I gonna do this? Like, you know, like, can I really do this? And I felt so shitty about it. And I ended up fucking closing the app and trying to go back to sleep. And it took me so long to fall asleep again. But I did. And the next morning I woke up and I'm like, was that a freaking dream? And I go into the app and no, it was like, it was real. Like it was not a dream. I almost thought so because it was actually mentally nuts. That's how crazy you go during prep, right? So yeah, that was insane, guys. But I didn't fuck up, right? But yes, did I have the urge to binge? A lot of times. Yes, a lot of times. Every day was a battle, you know? It was a battle to get through the day. Every single day again. And I didn't mess up once. And I feel like that has also caused a little bit of an aftermath, which I'll probably get into in a different question. Next question, what were your expectations? So guys, I was very confident in doing the show, and once I decided to do it, first of all, you know, the first, I would say 2 to 3 weeks, I looked myself in the mirror multiple times a day and took photos of myself, and I doubted myself so many times, right? But I decided to give my all on this goal. But I have to be honest, like in the beginning, I wasn't really sure whether I was gonna make it or not. And I started to constantly doubt myself, but I had to like tell myself, no, Merijn, believe in the process. You know how to get shredded, you know how to get lean. You know that the beginning phase is always the worst because you don't see results very quickly. And then in the end phase, you start seeing results every freaking day once you get very lean, right? But at the end, guys, I was so confident. So my expectations were fully that I was going to win the show. You can ask anyone that I know, anyone around me. I was so confident that I was going to take that first place because I knew I gave my all. Like I literally thought to myself, no one in this show can have outworked me, so I'm going to win this shit. You know. Plus, I've been training for so long, and you know. So I thought that, but yeah. So I was very confident as far as that went. Other than that, like expectations as far as the show itself, I didn't really know. Like I've never been to a show like that. So I came in there with like zero expectations, which was very cool, and really ended up in me having a great, amazing day. So I didn't really have any expectations as far as that went. I'm getting plenty of questions about my sex drive. I want to make a separate video regards that topic as well. I've always been completely honest about this. It's something that, you know, as a guy, I don't like to talk about. I'm gonna make that video, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel. What foods were you craving the most? Honestly, man, I was just missing the social interaction of like eating with people. You know, food is a very social thing, right? So people in Italy could probably never die down for a show because their moms and their families would never allow that. That is where, you know, all the happiness and the vibes from eating together with the family, right? That's something you have to give up. And so it wasn't necessarily a certain, like I missed so many different types of foods. It was more like I missed like eating out with people and socializing during food. So I missed that mostly. So I've been eating out every single day ever since, you know, the show. It's been so good. Were you nervous before the competition? 100%. I think that, you know, like guys, I'm always honest about everything. I think a lot of people would act like, you know, that they're not nervous and, you know, like I got this. And of course I was thinking those things and I truly believed I was going to win, etc. That doesn't mean you're not nervous. And I also, like for me, this was stepping out of my comfort zone completely, right? Something that I always preach on my channel as well. And something that this 100% was. I've been in the gym for very long. I post for Instagram photos, but that's completely different than doing a show like this against other people as well. So yeah, definitely nervous. The night before I couldn't sleep because of my nerves, but also because of excitement. And there's also the whole YouTube part in it. For me, like doing the show is not just doing the show. The whole YouTube process comes with it as well. I wanted that show day video to be the best fucking video we have ever made. So I was already in my head kind of like thinking how that video would go. What kind of message do I want to, you know, talk about tomorrow? And obviously like my videos are not structured, but there's still a thought gets into it. Like I want to create an awesome video that doesn't only show what I'm up to, but also really like inspires people, touches people deeply. And to do that, you have to kind of like come up with certain structures in your head as well. So I was laying in bed, thinking about the video, thinking about posing. Guys, I was nervous because like when I woke up in the middle of the night, and I woke up a lot of times because I really like couldn't sleep. When I had to go to the bathroom, I would stand up and I would practice my poses like right away when I got out of bed, like while I was walking to the bathroom, or I would even like go to the mirror again and check my poses. So I was pretty nervous as far as the posing went. And then again, I think that has to do with me not being 100% prepared as far as that went. So that gave me some, definitely some nerves and some stress. Now, as far as going up on that stage, that was also pretty nervous, but at the same time, not really, because you don't really have time to think about it. Right, you don't really have time to think about it. You're too busy with like first bumping up process, and then all of a sudden you go on stage. That all goes pretty fast, so not really any nerves. Definitely not any nerves when I was up on that stage. I felt fucking amazing. Like it felt really good. So that was not nerves. It was more like beforehand. How was your sleep in peak week and after? So my sleep during this cut in general, the last 3 to 4 weeks was really, really bad. You know, because I would wake up with hunger. And that would just like, it would be multiple times a night. I have an insane amount of hunger, guys. And like, if you get this lean, everybody will be hungry. Like I literally, in my face, I looked like I was starving, right? So, and I was still eating a decent amount of food, but like, there's also the fact that I was training twice a day, every single day, etc. So I needed all that food, which relatively was not much for my personal body. For everybody, that's different. So some people think that my calories were pretty high, but for me, like that's super low. So that's different per person. So yeah, my sleep was madly affected the last couple of weeks. How much muscle mass do you think you lost? That's kind of hard to say. You know, I don't measure muscle like that. That's just very hard to say in general. Glycogen plays a part, etc. But I've lost a very good amount, you know, well, good amount, a bad amount of muscle, because that obviously doesn't feel good. And my strength has went down so much. Like right now, I don't even want to think about it. It makes me slightly depressed in a way. But it was all worth it, and I knew that beforehand as well. You know, that's the sacrifice you gotta make if you shred down this deeply being natural. You are gonna lose muscle and you are gonna lose strength, but the muscle that you have left is gonna look more impressive. So that's kind of the sacrifice they have to make, you know. What was the hardest thing you faced during the prep? So 100% the hardest thing was the last 2 weeks. I had to tell myself every day that it was only a couple more days. That was the only thing that kept me going. Because the hardest thing I faced was the fact that like there's been so much shit, but the worst shit was that I couldn't really function anymore, business-wise. I couldn't be productive anymore, and so I have to tell my business partners like, yo, I'm sorry, but like, you know, the next 1 to 2 weeks, I really like I'm not able to do these things, you know, and there's plenty of stuff that, you know, I want to do, but that I couldn't do, and I had to accept the fact that I couldn't do that. And for me, that is very hard, guys, because before this prep, I was waking up between 5 and 6 every single morning, being super productive, living this life where I would get so much shit done. And now all of a sudden I had to tell myself and the people around me that I work with that I really couldn't do that. And now I understood like what an effect this prep has on your life, you know. So I've been getting some comments like hey, like I could never do this working a 9 to 5. Well, the reality is, guys, I work more hours than a 9 to 5 every single freaking day. And yes, it is really, really tough. This is why I don't recommend the average person to do shows. But man, like those weeks, like it was really, really hard, because for, like 2 weeks, it may not sound that long, but to me, that's very long. I get a lot of stuff done in 1 day or in 1 week, you know, and there's a lot of moves that we want to make. And I had to say, like, I cannot make those moves right now. I have to do that after my show. So that was definitely the hardest thing I faced. Have you ever thought about quitting? Yes, I actually have, not just once, at some stage every day. And I had to tell myself every day that there was only a couple more days. But it was tough, so I had to talk to myself every day, you know? I had many conversations with myself during that time, more than with anyone else. How did it feel to be on stage? Man, that's really, really hard to explain. The last couple days, like before going on stage, all I wanted was for this whole process to be over. I wanted it to be done. I wanted it, you know, I wanted Sunday to pass, the stage day to be Monday again, and that I could do whatever I wanted again and live my life again, be a normal person. But on the stage day, you know, I told myself, I said it in the video, I was really trying to live in the present moment and trying to take everything in, because I realized that, you know, that day, I shouldn't stress on that day. I shouldn't be stressed. I shouldn't be worried. I put in all the work for all these weeks. My life has been, you know, like dedicated towards that particular goal, and you suffer so much every single day in many different areas of everything that you do. You suffer so much that you constantly ask yourself, is this worth it? This is definitely not worth it, you know. This is ridiculous what I'm doing. It's actually insane. And then on the stage day, that is the day where, you know, you put in all this work. It's kind of like building a business, guys, which I always say this, building a physique is so fucking awesome. I'm not talking about doing a competition and all that, just fitness in general, building up your physique, because you put in work every single day, a bit of work for a very long period of time before you get the reward. And that's something that is very rare in today's world, right? Because people want to, you know, like know directly what they're getting. So if you're applying for a job, you don't want to work for free first, or you don't want to like help someone out, but it's always like, what do I get back for it, right? Same thing on social media, you post a photo, you get likes instantly. Those are all ways like you directly get something for what you do. But with this, you know, it's like building a physique takes a long time. Building a business, guys, every single day you put in this work, you ask yourself, is it worth it? Is anything gonna happen? And if not, am I just wasting my time? And it's exactly the same thing. So that's why I think, you know, this whole principle of fitness and getting in shape is so awesome. But with that said, all those weeks, a lot of sacrifices, you know, a lot of things you have to, you know, let go just for this particular goal. And then you ask yourself every day if it's worth it, because you never get a reward for it. But then on the show day, that is the big reward. And that's something I realized when I walked up on that stage. And I just felt how I looked. And I felt, you know, that I knew that all those weeks I gave my 100%. And like moments like not ordering that pizza that I wanted to order, I remember those moments. And like going to Liverpool with the Alpha League crew and not taking shots while, you know, people were offering me all the time, and, you know, eating the clean meals and having all that figured out. I remembered all those moments, and I remembered that I was doing cardio after everybody was clubbing. I was going to the gym and still hitting my cardio session. I remembered all those times, and I was like, shit, man, I worked so hard every single day for something that like I never got a reward for. And now this day, being up on a stage, I knew that I gave my all. I gave my 100%, and that made me so proud. And so I stood there and I was shining, man. It felt like the ultimate friggin' accomplishment being on there. It felt really, really good. And then seeing my friends, family, and a lot of you guys as well in the crowd and cheering for me and all that shit. And I'll never forget those moments, man. So it was much, much more awesome than I thought beforehand. Battery of my other camera just died, so I'm continuing on a different one. I definitely don't have this YouTube thing in me anymore. I'm excited for my comeback though. How did your workouts change during prep? Did you do anything different than usual? No, I just kept my workouts the same, was still working out with Stan. At some point I started cutting volume, so I did less amount of sets, and I also trained a little bit quicker because I didn't have the energy anymore. Like Stan is in the gym for like let's say 1.5 hours. I wasn't able to do that anymore, so I wanted to go in quick and hit it hard, like 45 minutes. Because I also had to do cardio at a different time of the day, and my energy just started dropping. But this is like the last couple of weeks, and then like 1 week before my peak week, so this is 2 weeks out, I started like dropping all the compounds. So instead of front squats, I would like only do the leg press. Instead of a bench press, I would do a machine press, and this was really to make sure I did not get injured because here I was already very lean, very fragile, and I didn't want to risk that. So that's why I switched to the machines instead of compound lifts. But so these are only the last 2 weeks, and then obviously the depletion workouts, which I showed you guys in the videos as well. Would you have done anything on your prep differently if you could do it over again? Definitely not, man. I'm super happy with how it went. I know I gave my 100%, and I know that the game plan was 100% solid. So that's an awesome realization. At the same time, like, what lessons could I take from it? Definitely, like, I need to build more muscle in certain areas, but that's something you cannot do during prep, right? So like my traps definitely need some work. I really am excited to build more mass in that area, as well as the calves, obviously. Like my hamstrings, for example, need more work. There are areas of my physique that need more work, but that's something you cannot train during prep because you're losing fat. So naturally, you're not going to build muscle at the same time when you're in such a deep caloric deficit, right? So that's why I didn't really focus on that. Now I will focus on that during this bulk. So I'm excited. As far as anything else, just the posing, man. I should have pose a little bit more, but that also comes with time. So if I decide to do another show, I definitely need to work on that posing. That is the number one thing. So then another question, sometimes you hear people, they get an eating disorder after a show. How do you feel about that? I completely understand it, and now I really understand it, right? Because I've been lean before, and I've been in binging phases in the past. And so guys, you have to realize that like normally when I shred down, I give myself like 16 weeks. For example, when I got super lean in 2016, I was thinking about that lately. At some point, I was like binging a lot during that shred while getting lean. And I still got to my end goal, but I had all these weeks, right? Now I didn't have any room to play with, so it was like 100% strict. And then after that strictness, it was like, Merijn, now you can do whatever you want. And I understand that this can definitely create, a certain eating disorder. And now it's very hard for me to get back to, how my normal diet is. Even though like that has always been enjoyable, that's been great. But my hunger also just doesn't go away. It's not like I'm completely falling off the wagon. At the same time, I've also told myself, like, you can enjoy, you're allowed to do that. But when you're allowed to do something, sometimes you go a little too far, And that's the same thing with partying in a way sometimes. So yeah, gotta get back on track. And for those that are worried, I definitely have not messed up my physique or anything. Yes, I did take a week off training after the show. So that's why I've been living the opposite life of what I've been living for many years. Which is I didn't go to the gym, for a week. I was partying and eating whatever I wanted, and partying whenever I wanted, and sleeping whenever I wanted. Like, I didn't have any structure, anything. So it's crazy, man. So I've been living the opposite life of what I would normally do, and I really got a little too far in that. Like, I wouldn't even care anymore about eating protein, which normally I do. Like, it's all about the balance, but there was no balance here anymore. I think I answered a decent amount of questions in this video. Haven't done a Q&A in a while, so I definitely enjoyed. If you enjoyed it as well, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I would appreciate it, because lately I've been mainly doing vlogs. If you guys want to see more like sit-down videos, me just chatting to you guys, Q&A, it can also be on a certain topic. Comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, and then I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.
This complications spin my mind, but I know I gotta keep pushing through. Yeah, I keep doing my own thing. Yeah, never looking back again. I can get it, I can make it, yeah, I know it, and I'm never looking back again. Yeah, never looking back again.